You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. I fought for it. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at. That he gave it everything. That he went for it. But here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream, you can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it, but if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm gonna change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're going to keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought?
Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Working on yourself, talking to yourself, that's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up, I'm in control here. You've got to have an uplifted expression. Watch your body posture. All of these things affect you psychically. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number 1 in your office, number 1 in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
We all have 2 voices in our mind. We have that one voice that we love to hear, that tells you to stay in bed, to take it easy, telling you not to push yourself too hard, to take the day off, just chill today. But there's another voice in your head. It's a voice that we all want to run away from. And it's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you become? What could you become if you worked as hard as you could? What could you become if you disciplined your mind? What could you become if you stopped taking the easy path? What could you become if you decided to force yourself to do more than ever before? You must listen to that voice. Listen to those questions it's asking. That voice is the beast inside you, trying to make its way out.
When you want something, don't expect the world to just hand it to you. Life's not gonna give you shit for free. There's no handouts. No one's coming to say, oh, you want this? Great, we want to give this to you. No, life isn't like that. But guess what? That's how most people see success. They think of it as if you just do a few things and you instantly become a winner.
They stick to a diet for 3 days and wonder why they're not a fitness model yet.
They do a few tasks they gotta do, have 2 meetings, send 5 emails, call 10 people, then have the audacity to say, why am I not running a $10 million company by now? And it's because they don't get what it really takes. It takes doing the things that most people aren't disciplined enough to do, day after day after day after day, to the best of your ability, doing it better than everybody else. Striving for perfection every single time. It's getting your ass up and working when you don't want to work. It's lifting the weights when all you want to do is lay on the couch. It's focusing on studying when you'd rather be out partying with your friends. And you might hate doing it. It might be the last thing in the world you want to be doing right now. But you've got to do it like you love it. Because that is what discipline is. Don't allow your feelings to take control of your life. You're the one in charge. At some point, you gotta get fucking tired of losing. And you gotta fucking play angry. You gotta get to the point where you can't relate to lazy people. You don't speak the same language. You gotta execute. You gotta get it done. Cause the world treats you different when you get it done. You gotta start commanding your mind to do the things that it's gonna take to win, no matter how it feels.
Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Stop spending time looking for excuses. Look for solutions. That's what winners do. Losers are always looking for the excuse, where the winner looks for the solution. You gotta look yourself in the face and ask yourself, am I working hard enough? Am I studying hard enough? Am I doing all that I can do? Am I giving it my all? Am I burning the midnight oil every night? Am I pushing myself to my limits? And don't lie to yourself. Be honest. And if the answer is no, you've got to step up your game and condition yourself to do better. Because all of us can go a little harder, work a little longer, try a little more. If we decide to, it's your mind that holds you back. You take control of your mind, you can take control of your world. Stop choosing the easy path, the path of comfort and convenience. All it's gonna lead you to is a life of quality, circumstances, and a lifestyle. Choose the hard path, the path of discipline, the path of hard work, the path of consistency, the path of blood, sweat, and tears, the path of giving the full measure, the path of going the extra mile. That path will lead you to your dreams, to your goals, to everything you've ever wanted, and ultimately to victory. I'd love to tell you it's going to be easy. That you can just go out into the world, do a few things, make a few moves, then you'll be rich. It doesn't work like that.
If you're gonna make it, you gotta get real doggish. You gotta get real gritty. When you have something in mind that you want, if you're gonna see it become a reality, you gotta get absolutely fucking dedicated to that thing. It's gotta become your new fucking lifestyle.
You gotta commit your very being to that thing. You gotta eat it, you gotta breathe it, you gotta sleep it. You've gotta want that thing so bad that all the people around you think you're insane. You gotta want it more than you want to party. You gotta want it more than you want to rest. You gotta want it more than any of the short-term gratifications that tempt you to take the easy way. There's no easy way for you. There is only the way. And that way is the way of discipline, dedication, and hard work.
If anybody tells you to be more balanced, they don't get it. All the average motherfuckers are afraid of dedicating themselves to something for more than a few fucking days. You gotta allow yourself to be unbalanced for days, months, years, however much time you need in order to build that life, that dream, that thing you want so bad. All the average motherfuckers will wish for it. They'll hope for it. They'll talk about it, but you'll be the one who gets up and works for it. You gotta dedicate every second of your fucking life to that thing you want. You gotta be willing to cut people off that don't support you. You gotta give every single day, every ounce of fucking energy and effort you have in order to pull it off. When you push yourself to that level of obsession and drive when everyone thinks you're insane, you're psycho, you're losing your mind, you're at the exact right level of what it'll take to become the best.
No one great ever made it to the top through being casual. You have to force your body and mind to operate on such a high level that others are scared to reach for.
So you gotta make the decision. Are you willing to do the things required to go to that level? Because if you can reach the point where your mindset is, I will do whatever the I have to do to win, you will dominate every single challenge and competitor you face. Dedicate yourself to the activity. Dedicate yourself to 1 month, 6 months, a year, 5 years. I don't know what stage you're at, but you gotta push yourself to go further than you have been. You have more in you. The difference between the average guy and the winner on top is the average guy does what he knows he's supposed to do, what he knows is good for him, but falls off the plan after a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years. The winner, on the other hand, they stick to it relentlessly. They never stop. They do what they know they gotta do and go even further. They break through the mental barriers people make up in their mind. They stick to the task for as long as it takes to get whatever the hell they want. They don't give up what the weather's like, what time it is, what day it is, what's going on in the rest of the world. They focus purely on the task at hand, and they nail it to the very best of their ability every single time, every single day.
If you stay consistent, you can do what many think to be impossible for one person. A person can move mountains given enough time, enough energy, enough persistence, enough discipline, enough consistency. All it takes is you getting up and doing those things you know you got to do without any interruption, without any deviation, without anything getting in the way. You don't leave room for your feelings to get a say in whether you execute or not. No, you do what needs to be done without any internal debates. You keep your focus on that thing you want, and you don't allow anyone or anything to pull you away from it.
The power is in the routine. If you make your daily routine consist of all those things you gotta do, you will 100% get there. It's only a matter of time.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're going to do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together. And just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything.
And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again.
When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back.
Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve. It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's going to give you. If you want to win, you got to show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time. Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Download this video and audio by becoming a member. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is throw some issues and challenges their way, and they give up. They throw in the towel. They surrender.
See, those people don't realize that it goes with the territory. That when you want to grow, when you want to achieve, when you want to experience more, all hell will break loose. Everything that can happen will happen.
It's one thing to believe when you've got money in your pocket. It's one thing to believe when your marriage is working out, when you've got your health. It's easy to believe then. But it's another thing when you get that diagnosis that says you're not going to be around much longer. When you lose your job, when someone you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life says, no, we can't do this anymore. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you got to find something within you that won't be denied.
There is something about you. There is a power within you that regardless of what happens to you, you can stand up inside of yourself and declare, I am going to do it.
You got to get to the point in your life where you say, I have had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. No, there's got to be more for me. You got to draw the line. You got to say enough is enough, and I'm not going to let anything stop me.
Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You're not a victim. You are powerful. In the chaos is an opportunity. If you can learn to harness the pain you're going through, you can rise to the challenge and refuse to allow the chaos around you to determine the conqueror within you.
Resisting the toe to go down and standing fiercely in spite of the opposition and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, but you don't know what's happened to me. It doesn't fucking matter what has happened to you. The only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it?
I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay, I'm going to make it happen. You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up. You have the power to do that.
Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want because you expect to get it.
Courageously hold on to your dream and don't lose enthusiasm. You gotta be out of your mind to believe. In spite of these numbers, you can still make it. You gotta be crazy. Yes, you must be crazy. The crazy people are the only ones who change the world and do the impossible. You gotta believe in your heart of hearts that in spite of the pain you're feeling, you can still come back again. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. I'm gonna courageously pursue it. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. This is something that I want that gives my life meaning and value.
You've got to learn how not to give up and how not to give in. And you got to understand that greatness is within you and you got to pull it out. When life's putting the pressure on you, you have to learn to bolt every escape hatch closed in your mind and don't allow yourself a way out. You got to find a way or make a way.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to go home. It's okay to take a break, but quitting should never be an option. The weakness is in your mind, out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream.
The war takes place in your own head. It's not in your savings account. It's not in your job. The fight that you've got to fight is in your mind. And if you can get it out of your head, you can get it out of your job. You can get it out of your finances. You can get all the self-pitying and victimizing thoughts out of your entire life.
If you don't like where you're at, don't worry about it. This is just a chapter. Don't like how you feel right now? It's okay. It's just a chapter.
Why are you up all night, stressed, worried, and weeping over one chapter in your life?
This isn't the end of your story. The last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. You still have more to go. You can still turn things around. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday or the day before. What matters is, what are you doing right now to make your life better? What steps are you taking right now to improve yourself and your situation? We can't control what has happened, but we can control what we do now. You have full control over yourself and your ability to work on yourself and get better at whatever you're doing.
The difficulties you're facing right now aren't there to stop you from living your dream. They're there to push you onto another level. They will help make you into the person you want to be. Don't run away from the hardship like most people do. Step toward it, face it head on, and be willing to wrestle with it to get what you want.
This world is always going to give you scars, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Many people try to hide their scars. No, you should wear those scars as a badge of honor. They show what you've overcame, what you've faced and beaten, because only the toughest people make it through to the other side where success is. And you are tough. You are cut from a different cloth.
And you got to see yourself capable and worthy of living a life of greatness, a life of peace. Say to yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm coming out of this. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what I'm going to have to go through. I don't know what I'm going to lose along the way, but I am going to make it through this.
I've been broke, busted, and disgusted, but I still believe that I am coming out of this mess. No matter what it takes, I'm going to do it.
What is the common denominator of failure? Why are you failing? You never say because of me. Oh, it's the competition. It's the economy. It's the president. It's Congress. If you wake up tomorrow morning and blame your failure on someone or something else, you have no reason to change, do you? But if you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror and said, I am failing because of me, the decisions that I make, the energy I put in, I'm not passing the blame. If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Take ownership. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm going to walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
What do you do when no one believes in you? What do you do when the evidence all around you suggests you'll be stuck in this mess forever? What is it that can make you keep pushing forward?
When you're facing so many challenges, your inner conversation will be so loud, telling you that it's over. The dream is dead. The vision is gone. There's nothing left for you. When you hear that conversation rising in your mind, you've got to find that other voice, that real voice, that voice that says, there is still a way out of this. It is possible that I can get through this.
The vision is still intact. I have what it takes. I'm strong enough. I'm smart enough. I'm capable of great things. And great things are meant to happen to me.
I don't belong at the bottom, and I'm going to go all out to get out. I deserve the greatest, and all these challenges I'm facing right now, they won't stop me. They're nothing but temporary inconveniences.
You've got to speak to yourself positively day in and day out. People may think you're insane, but pay no attention to them. You block them out and you focus on yourself, focusing all your energy and effort on things you're striving for. And as you convince yourself, telling yourself that you have everything it takes to win, that this is your time, this is your moment, and that you will not stop until you get what you rightfully should have, you will begin to see yourself doing better than ever before.
Take the leap of faith, trust yourself, and believe in yourself that everything is going to be all right.
Those people who can face rejection again and again and again, who can handle going through defeat again and again and again, and no matter what happens to them, they can keep coming back at it with a positive, uplifted attitude. These are the people who end up on top in life. They keep striving when everybody else is quitting.
And as you're continuing to fight, as you're pushing forward, as you're doing more than what is required or what anyone expects of you, you will begin to shock yourself of what you're capable of.
You can do more than you think you can. You can go further than you'd ever conceive is possible. You've got to build a bulletproof level of self-confidence that will never hold you back from reaching your full potential ever again. And of course, you'll have haters. People will try to kill your dreams. Anyone building something always does. But it's your job to shut them all up with your results. The best revenge in life is massive success.
I will not settle, even if I have to start over, even if it took longer than I expected, even if I had to make extra payments, even if I have to crawl on my hands and knees. I will not give up on my dream. I will not neutralize my tenacity. I will not give up on my integrity. I will fight every day of my life. If you knock me down, you're gonna have to do it again tomorrow, because I'll get back up again. I will not go quietly away into the night. I can, I will, I must. I can get through this. I will get through this. I must get through this. No matter what happens to me, no matter how many times I land on my face, no matter the struggles that get thrown my way, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I can make it.
Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every fall, a lesson learned. Every bit of the pain is nothing more than opportunities to showcase my resilience. With unwavering faith in myself and an unyielding spirit, I will rise above the storms, reaching for the skies with a heart unburdened by doubt.
At some point, your faith has got to be tested. At some point, you got to be tested by life, and nobody's coming to save you. So you've got to save yourself.
It's up to you to take responsibility for your life and realize that you are the determining factor of where you end up.
Your life is your movie. You can make your life a blockbuster smash hit or a flop. It's your choice. You form your life by the decisions you make every day. When you run up against a trial, do you back down or step up? If you keep hitting against those things that test you, if you don't give up in the process, if you keep looking for ways to win relentlessly, you will have an incredible breakthrough.
I want you to remind yourself constantly, no matter the trials that test my patience, no matter the mountains I must climb, no matter the storms that rage around me, I stand unshaken, a force to be reckoned with. I am the embodiment of determination, the personification of endurance. And I declare to the world with unbridled confidence that yes, I can make it, and I will make it.
If I can take it, I can make it.
If you can take it, you can make it.
If you can just keep believing when nothing in you is working, when all your external forces have given way, if you can just manage to somehow keep hoping, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. If you can just keep hope alive, you can make it. Because if you keep hoping, it is really faith. You just gotta transpose it into I hope this happened to I believe this can happen.
Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself.
There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
Every time you find yourself saying that you can't do something, putting yourself down, being negative about you and the possibilities for you, you've got to literally catch yourself. And you've got to affirm to yourself, hey, no, I can make it. There's some way this can happen for me. You've got to remind yourself that you've got powers within you, talents within you that you haven't even reached for yet. That once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to experiment with your life, to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You've got to say yes to my dreams, yes to me, yes I can. Doesn't matter how many failures I've made, doesn't matter how many mistakes I've endured, doesn't matter about what I've done, I can make it.
If you think it's gonna be easy, if you think you're just gonna get that business started without any trial or tribulation, forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy. But I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And if pain leaves your body, guess what's gonna take its place? Success. All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. I told you before, if it was easy, everybody would do it. No pain, no gain. I can't get through this difficulty right now, through this pain. I can't. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. The Bible says he was in a pig pen, and he came to himself, and he went home. Get your butt up. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can outlast that discomfort, on the other side of it is success.
I know what it is to walk the floor and you don't know how you're going to make it when people no longer believe in you. And you got to say to yourself, when you fail again and again, they tell you no. Sometimes with tears in your eyes, it's possible. When life knocks you down, sometimes you have to take 2 steps backwards to go forward. When life staggers you, the thing that'll get you up on your knees, get you standing in the center of the ring and keep on fighting is, it's possible. If I just stand long enough, I can pull this off. I can do it. I'm putting it out here. I'm not going to rest until I have it. It's necessary. I'm going to do it. It's on me. No one's going to make it happen for me. I get some help and assistance, but I know that it's on me. Will it be easy? No, it's going to be hard, but it doesn't matter what it costs. Because whatever you have to do, it's worth it because it's your life's purpose. And once you know that, it is done.
They say an alligator is so ferocious it'll kill a lion, but I can kill an alligator with my bare hands. How? You kill it right after it eats. Because right after it eats, it gets satisfied. And it goes to a state like it's almost paralyzed. Some of y'all in this room, are you paralyzed? You had a little success? You done what nobody else in your family has done and now you chilling? Come on, you ain't hungry no more? I need you to stay focused. Why? You should still be hungry. What have you eaten that's got you satisfied? What have you done? What have you accomplished that got you so full?
It is never finished. You always have more to do, another mission, another task, another goal. So don't be finished. Be starting. Be alert. Be ready. Be attacking. Be relentless. Let the enemy stop. Let the enemy rest. Let the enemy finish. You don't finish. Don't stop. Don't rest. Not until the enemy is completely destroyed.
I got to stay hungry. I try to keep it humble. I walk around, I don't even want people to know who I am. Why? Because I still want to have that dog. I still need to stay hungry. And when you got pride, it gets in the way of you being hungry. And you need that hunger. But y'all ain't got no doggone motor. You get tired quick. You do a couple hours, you tired. Man, you got to have that dog. You got to take that personal. Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year, I want to be successful. I want to execute. I want to make all my dreams become a reality. So my appetite increases. It gets stronger every year. I want more. I want to do more. I want to help more. Every year, I want to be bolder. I want to be better. I want to be stronger every single year. All men are created equal. Some work harder. Some get up at 2:30 in the morning. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't surrender. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level.
True champions get hungrier every time they win. They don't reach a peak. They don't reach a pinnacle. Winners dominate losers. Legends dominate winners. And your mentality on this earth should be that you want to dominate winners. Legends feel fulfilled and happy because they do what they have to do to be the best there ever was at whatever it is that you do. Just winning is not enough. You're not maximizing your potential. You're not becoming who the f you could become. But dominating people who are winning, that's something that'll leave you a fucking legacy.
Where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? You look at your life, you look at what you produce. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your ideas? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring? Why are you here? What brought you here? Investing the time, the money. What brought you here? What decisions are you making right now as you look into the future? Where are you going with your life?
I don't care how hard you fail. I don't care how many times you fail the test. I don't care if nobody don't believe in you. It only takes you believing in yourself to get this thing done. As long as you believe in you, you got the right mindset, you got the right attitude, you can have whatever you like. But if you fall, I need you to fall forward. I need you to fail forward.
Now, are there going to be some moments when you want to give up? Yes. Will there be some moments when it's going to seem like it's impossible? The pain that you're experiencing, the disappointment that you're experiencing, that you're going to say, it's not worth it? Yes, that's going to be right there for you. It's going to be in your face, telling you to go back.
But don't let the distractions distract you. All right? You got to keep moving. Don't stop.
Separate what you do from who you are. That's what the guilt trap is about. All of us have made some mistakes in life. All of us have done some things that if we had them to do over again, we wouldn't do it again. A lot of things that if I had it to do over again, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done it differently. Well, it didn't happen that way. A lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work, and you owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms.
But I tell you, there are some times in life where you fall down. You feel like you don't have the strength to get back up. Pretend that everything's okay when it's not, and you go home and lay in your bed when no one's looking at you, and you don't have to impress anybody. And fear comes in. You know the fear that you have as soon as you walk into the doors of your house. Maybe you have doubt in your life. Maybe you don't know for sure what's going to be happening in the future and it scares you. Maybe you're worried about what people think of you, what people say about you. Just that fear paralyzes you. And I just want to ask you today, do you think you have hope?
Right now, you're at the worst place in your life that you've ever been. I believe that this is your beginning, but this doesn't have to be your end. That just because you are currently here, this is your present circumstances, that life don't have to end for you right now.
What is it that will give you the drive? What is it that will ignite the courage in you to get up and come back again and again and again?
Your why. Your why is gonna push you when you can't push yourself. When you wanna quit and give up, your why is gonna give you that edge you need, that advantage you need, that lift that you need to get to the next level. Your why. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet. This is not what I said I was gonna do. This is what I talked about. This is not the goal. This is not what I dreamed about. This is not what it looks like.
I will try 100 times to get up. And if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever gonna get up? No.
So I need you to believe.
But if I fail, I try again and again and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up.
You can decide that you're going to stand up to life.
And it's not the end until you've given up. There's still hope.
You're going to work through this. You're going to get up. You're going to get dressed. You're going to get out. And you're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you called to be. You're going to have, and you're going to prove to everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to stop you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're going to prove all of them wrong. I use the pain to push me to greatness. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. There is still time. As long as there's breath in your nostrils, as long as you can wake up in the morning.
It matters how you're going to finish. You will find that strength to get back up.
You're still in the game, which means if you're in the game and there's still time in the game, still time left in the game, you can still win the game. You can't afford not to be you. You can't afford just to go to work so you can get a check. You cannot afford not to see what your greatest is. You can't afford not to put your foot all the way down and see what you could get out of life.
You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am.
You can't afford not to be you.
You're going through some hard times. It has not come to stay. It has come to pass. It takes guts to pick yourself up. It takes guts. You got to dig down deep to gut it out. Keep on going again and again and again until you make it happen, because you know that it's possible.
And many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, let's start fighting back.
So life knocks you down, trying to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up,
that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. We have so much energy that can take us so far. It's necessary that you hook up with some other energy that can take you to the next level. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary if you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. Here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right? And it's worth it. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to, that you have the vision and never give it up, that you become creative and relentless and keep on coming back again and again and again. And that it's you that you got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. And that it's hard. Easy is not an option. And when life knocks you down, jump back up and say, it's not over until I win.
When you start doing anything, the first step, you're excited. You're pumped up. You're going to be consumed with that thing you're doing. But a week into it, a month into it, a year into it, 5 years into it, many people begin to lose that fire. They get exhausted. They don't care anymore. They stop trying.
So they stop the daily tasks to move toward the goal, and they settle. They settle for, I guess it wasn't meant to be. They settle for, I guess I didn't want to. They settle for the easy road. They settle for mediocrity. They give up and they let it go. But I'm saying, no, you cannot be like that. You can't allow your dreams and goals to slip by like that. You must stay focused. Don't allow anything to pull you off your game plan.
If you don't finally get your focus in check, if you keep wandering around distracted, if you keep looking at every new thing that pops up in your feed, if you keep trying every single new opportunity, if you keep saying yes to everything, if you keep listening to everybody's complaints, if you keep doing whatever they ask you to do, at some point, you will lose your life.
You must reclaim your attention and limit it down to the very few things you care about the most. Cut off anything else that doesn't support you.
Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it. Write about it. Talk about it. Hang it up on your wall. But most importantly, do something about it every single day. Start working a plan to get where you want to go and minimize everything else. Getting very clear on the mission and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no. You tune out every voice and noise outside of yourself. And you lock your focus on this one thing. And you give it everything you've got.
What is it that you need to immediately stop doing in your life to take back control of your time? Is it social media? Is it watching 7 seasons of a show every week? And what do you need to start doing? What do you need to start doing every day, every week, every month, every year to be the best version of you?
Because whatever you spend your time on is what determines the outcomes of your life.
Disciplining yourself buys you freedom to do what you want.
Sacrifice leads and gains follow. Don't bother looking for any gains when you haven't made sacrifices.
You gotta give stuff up in order to go up. So the question is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to skip the parties, cut out the socializing, pass on doing the cool thing on the weekend with your friends?
'Cause that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take you dedicating every single fucking moment, every single ounce of energy and effort you have to pull it off. Forget about balance. You have to be obsessed with the thing you want and don't allow anything to pull you away from it.
If you really want to win, pack your calendar because everything is based off of activity. The more you execute, the more results you will see. You break away from the pack by doing more than other people are willing to.
It's impossible for you to lose if you pack your calendar with tasks to be done every single fucking day of the month, morning till night. You do that year after year after year, and you will undoubtedly become one of the greatest in whatever the fuck you want to do.
A champion focuses only on the goal. They don't allow anything else into their mind that won't help them win.
And so if you want to be a winner, what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day has to change. What you're watching, what you're reading, what you're listening to, the conversations you're having. You must now be fully focused on your dreams and your goals.
And it all starts with what you're doing today. Not tomorrow, not next week.
Today, when you're great, you don't just focus on a year. When you're great, you don't just focus on a month. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week. You focus on the 24 hours in front of you and you work relentlessly to nail it.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do. When you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in, deciding that you're going to focus to develop your skills, you'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the people that you'll be able to attract, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been standing there looking you in the face and say, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
When you spend your energy focusing on what other people are doing instead of executing on your own opportunities, you are setting yourself up to fail time and time again. And this goes against what society is, right? Society is all about gossip. It's all about talk. It's all about who's doing what. And it's never about worrying about what you're doing. Go to a fucking bar. What's everybody talk about? What their company's doing, what their boss is doing, what their coworkers are doing, what their aunt's doing, what their mom's doing, what their dad's doing. Nobody fucking cares and it doesn't fucking matter. That's why you don't see successful people hanging out with people like that. Because they worry about their own shit, they worry about their own actions, they worry about what they execute on, and they worry about how they can get better at it.
You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective, telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes. This is my day. So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. Whatever your hands find to do, execute. You gotta learn to kill the noise. Who cares what they say? Dominance. Who cares what they think? Dominance. You wanna kill your haters? You wanna shut them down? You wanna kill the noise? Nothing succeeds like success.
No coach, no trainer, no boss can do it. You versus you.
Decide that you're going to push yourself. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
Never, ever allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you've worked your ass off to get it. You decided all the clubs, partying, hanging out, popping bottles with models, and all that that ain't for me. I'm gonna be out here running in the hot sun, practicing, playing basketball, shooting on weekends while everybody else is clubbing and hanging out. You got your focus right.
Change the way you see yourself and begin to tend to the personal details. Understand that nobody's going to take care of your business better than you. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potentials.
Stay focused. Don't listen to nobody. What's on your mind, just do it. Because what's destined for you, you're going to get it.
As you begin to develop and expand your skills and your talents and your vision of yourself, you will always be in control of your destiny.
There's no limitations. There's no excuses. Just sweat equity.
And what is it that makes it worth fighting for? When you're getting trampled by life, when everything is working against you, when anything that could go wrong does go wrong, what makes it worth it to you to keep pushing forward?
You focus on the speed bumps, the daily activities, losing sight of their true purpose.
Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it.
The difference between a winner and a loser, the failure's there every single time. It's just the winner gets back up and does it again, and does it again, until it goes his way.
I don't care how hard you fall. I don't care if nobody don't believe in you. It only takes you believing in yourself to get this thing done. And listen to me, it ain't failure if you learn from it, baby. So if you fall on your back so you can look up, because if you can look up, then you can get up. I dare you to take a little pain. I dare you. At the end of pain is success.
If you can stay in the race, if you can stay in the fight, then you can dictate your own future.
I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you soft.
See, getting what you want is up to you. You can turn your life around if you change your attitude. You change your attitude, you change your altitude.
Your mind and attitude is all you need to be successful. That's all you need. You don't need to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't need money. You don't even need folk that like you. As long as you believe in you, you got the right mindset, you got the right attitude, we can make it happen. I don't care what's going on around you, because it's not what happens around you that determines your success. It's what happens inside you. And you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude and you can control your mindset. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And so God is allowing you to go off the rough side of the mountain, not so he can hurt you or break you. He's trying to redesign me. I'm telling you right now because I care about you. I'm telling you right now because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, you put too much in it to quit now. Oh. It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were gonna get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. You won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. I'm unbreakable now. You get one shot. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better make the kind of decisions that's gonna take you to the NBA. You better make the right decisions that's gonna take you to the NFL. You better make the right decisions that are gonna land you the next best rapper, the next business tycoon. It's one thing to talk about your destiny, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, saying no to quitting when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your body said don't stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it. You will not break me, you will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight. It hasn't been easy. It's a dogfight. It hasn't been, the road hasn't been success. Like it's just a paved road and like each he go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away. I'm young, I'm one yes away. You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep power. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough strength to stop this.
Contain it for a year, you might. 2 years, you might. You do not have hate, does not have enough energy to destroy love. You cannot destroy this. And so I'm telling you today, it's going to be a dogfight. And the sooner you realize it's going to be a dogfight. Okay, so let me just say this to you. So in America, right, and I'm sure it's the same thing here, but they're in our armed forces. Let's just pick one, the Navy, for instance. We just pick the Navy, right? Well, let me tell you guys, this is good. Listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, somebody over here, help me out. You are in the Navy, right? They're teaching you war. Right? What's the first thing they teach you? Boot camp, the very first, somebody jump over here to take a wild guess. What's the first thing they teach soldiers? Good, courage, okay. Decide. Discipline. So give me something practical. What's the first practical thing that they would teach you? Say it again. Defending yourself, somebody over here. How to swim, listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, the very first thing they teach you, is how to respond when you have a jam gun. And number 2, how to carry your dead body. That's the first thing they teach you. They don't teach you how to defend yourself. They don't teach you how to swim. The first thing they teach you is when your gun is jammed. The first thing they teach you is a dead body, how to carry a dead body. And somebody tell me, why would they start you there? That's the worst case scenario. That's what you're not prepared for. That's what you're not thinking. You're not thinking when you go out there to defend yourself that your gun is going to jam. You're not thinking when you go out there that your boy going to get killed and you got to drag. You're not thinking that. So listen to me. It's not hardships that hurt us. It's not my cousin getting shot twice. It's not my cousin spending 50 years in jail. It's not my aunt dying of cancer. It's not my wife being diagnosed with 7 lesions on her brain that will break you. What will break most people is you didn't prepare for that. So when you put all your little goals and all your little dreams together, it's not the thing that broke you. It was you never even thought about the fact that you could be broken. You never prepared. You never prepared for worst case scenario. And the reason why E.T. is standing here, because I'm prepared for it. If you know anything about me, I still lay on floors. I still eat chips off the floor. I still do some stuff that to most people is crazy, like E.T., why would you do that? Because I'm always prepared that we may not live in that house one day. One day something might happen and we might have to go back to that. And if I have to go back to that, it's not going to break me. And so I present to you a diamond. Most women love them. And most men spend a lot of money on them. I'm going to say it again. Most women love them. And most guys have to work a long time to be able to get a nice one. The thing we covet the most, for a diamond to be produced, it must first go through extreme heat. Extreme heat. Extreme pressure. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure. Extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cut. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. After you go through all the pressure you thought you could not handle and you think it's over, then they turn on the heat. Of all the stuff I've gone through in my life, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings. The worst thing that ever happened is when I went to the hospital and they told me my wife had a chronic illness and she might not be able to walk one day. People say, E.T., ask CJ, it never broke me. Why? Because I've been broken so much. I've been defeated so much. I've been disappointed so much in my life that I know what it feels like and I can handle it. It didn't happen to me at 19. It didn't happen to me at 20. It didn't happen to me at 30. It happened to me at 40. After I had been through all the pressure I thought I could go through. Life said, you finished with all the pressure? I said, yeah. They said, let's bring on the heat. And then when I went through the pressure and the heat, y'all, I thought it was over. The Creator said, now you ready to get cut? You say you wanted to be great, son. You say you wanted to travel the world. You said you wanted to help people, inspire people. Yeah, you gotta be a diamond. But listen to me very closely if you've ever studied the diamond. Once it goes through that type of pressure and it finally becomes a diamond, at that point you can't break it no more. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Once you get to that point, you cannot be broken anymore. And the only way they can tell if a diamond is a diamond or if it's fake is by applying pressure is how they tell. They don't just look at it. You think you just look at the thing like I looked in the thing. They'll just bring it here. Bah, put it on some glass. Bah, okay, it's real. So I'm being honest with you. I'm not giving you the 7 principles to. I'm trying to tell you the very first thing I want to tell you before we go through the principles. It's going to be a dog fight. And if you soft, this ain't you want to get out now. This is where you're like, I quit. But if you're willing to say, I'm not going to quit, I guarantee you whatever success you want to have, you're going to have it.
Think about it. Look at those giants of inspiration who've walked this earth before us. They didn't achieve greatness because they wallowed in self-pity because they believed insecurities. But you must realize that voice does not define you. It is not who you are. It is merely a whisper in the wind, a passing cloud in the vast expanse of your potential.
Remember the words of that unstoppable force, the man who rose from the depths of despair to inspire millions. It's not over until I win. Those words aren't just a statement. They're a battle cry. They're a declaration of defiance against the odds, a proclamation that no matter how tough it gets, you will prevail. You are not defined by the circumstances of your birth, by the setbacks you've faced, or by the tears you've shed. You are defined by the fire that burns within you, by the dreams that refuse to be extinguished. Look at the man born without limbs who took his so-called disability and turned it into a beacon of hope for the world. He didn't let self-pity hold him back. He embraced his uniqueness and soared.
You are not defined by the scars you bear, but by the strength that lies within you. Every setback, every heartbreak, every tear shed has forged you into a force to be reckoned with. It's time to recognize that power within you and unleash it upon the world. In those moments when doubt whispers in your ear, when the weight of the world threatens to crush your spirit, discipline equals freedom. It's not about constraining yourself, but about liberating your true potential. Embrace the discipline required to push through the challenges, to rise above the noise, and to achieve the extraordinary.
I want you to imagine for a moment that you are standing on the edge of a precipice, gazing out at a vast, uncharted landscape. The path before you is rugged, filled with twists and turns, but it is also filled with promise, with the potential for greatness beyond your wildest dreams. Now, take that first step. Feel the solid ground beneath your feet, the wind against your face. This is your journey, your story, and it's time to write it with bold strokes of courage and determination. Let me tell you, the world doesn't stop for those who wallow in self-pity. It doesn't pause to wipe away your tears. It keeps moving, and so must you. Embrace the challenges, for they are the stepping stones to your success. Embrace the setbacks, for they are the raw material from which you will build your legacy.
That the greatest achievements in human history were born from the crucible of adversity. It was in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds that heroes emerged, that legends were forged. And so it shall be for you. Embrace the struggle, for it is the chisel that will sculpt you into the masterpiece you are meant to become. When the world feels heavy on your shoulders, I want you to dig deep. I want you to summon the strength of a warrior, the resilience of a champion. You are not alone in this journey. You stand on the shoulders of giants, the ones who refused to accept defeat, who stared at adversity in the face and said,
You are not alone in this journey. You have within you the spirit of every warrior, every pioneer, every trailblazer who came before you. Their energy courses through your veins, urging you forward. Draw upon that strength, that wisdom, and let it guide. And when you face those moments of doubt, when the world seems to conspire against you, you have greatness within you. It's not a question, it's a fact. You are capable of achieving feats that will leave the world in awe. Believe it with every fiber of your being.
Now, I want you to think about the legacy you want to leave behind. What impact do you want to have on this world? How do you want to be remembered? The canvas of your life is vast, and you hold the brush. Paint it with bold strokes of purpose, with colors that reflect the fire burning within you. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a victor in the making. You have the power to shape your destiny, to mold it into something magnificent. Do not underestimate the influence you hold over your own life.
Look around you at the faces of those who believe in you, who see the potential that sometimes even you may doubt. They are your tribe, your support system. Lean on them when you need to and let them lift you up. Together, you are an unstoppable force, a tidal wave of determination that will crash through any obstacle in your path. A phantom that dissipates when you face it head on. It's time to confront your fears, to walk through the fire and emerge stronger on the other side. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. That level of desire, that unrelenting hunger for success will propel you to heights you never thought possible.
Remember, the road to success is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It requires endurance. It requires fortitude. But with each step forward, you are inching closer to the finish line, closer to the realization of your dreams. Keep moving forward, even if it's just one step at a time. One such legend is a man born without limbs who defied all expectations. He refused to be defined by his limitations, and instead he defined his own destiny. His life is a testament to the power of the human spirit, to the strength that resides within us all.
As you stand on the precipice of your own destiny, know that the journey ahead may not always be easy. There will be trials, there will be moments of doubt, but remember this. It is in those very moments that your true strength will shine through. When you feel the weight of the world bearing down on your shoulders, take a deep breath and summon the resilience that lies within you. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you rise above them. Embrace the struggle, for it is the crucible in which your character is forged.
Think back to those who have come before us, the pioneers who blazed trails through the wilderness of uncertainty. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have a clear path laid out before them. What they had was a burning desire to push forward, to make their mark on the world. And that's exactly what they did. It's your turn to write your story, to leave your legacy. And let me tell you, the world is hungry for your contribution. It's hungry for the unique gifts and talents that only you possess. Don't hold back. Don't diminish your light. Let it shine with unbridled brilliance.
I want you to envision the life you desire. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Taste it, feel it. Let it wash over you like a tidal wave of possibility. And then understand this. The only person standing between you and that life is the one you see in the mirror each morning. You have the power within you to shatter the chains of self-doubt, to rise above the naysayers, and to achieve greatness. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of destiny. And as you step into your power, as you embrace your potential, you will inspire those around you to do the same.
See, it's not about the circumstances you were born into, but about the choices you make and the actions you take. You have the power to rise above your challenges, to overcome your setbacks, and to write a story that inspires generations to come. As you move forward on this journey, discipline equals freedom. This discipline as a means to liberate your true potential. It's not about constriction, but about the freedom to pursue your dreams with unwavering determination.
Go forth a fire in your belly and a purpose in your heart. Know that you are capable of achieving greatness beyond your wildest imagination. The world is waiting for your light to shine, for your story to inspire. So my friends, stop crying, for within you lies the power to change the world. The world is yours for the taking.
You still have ties with that thing, and you're not able to grow because you still have ties. So it doesn't matter how much you study. It doesn't matter how many certificates you get. It doesn't matter how many degrees. You cannot go forward until you cut the ties of the past, and you're not able to cut the ties of the past. So God's not able to give you the promises of your future.
You have a demonic connection to your programming that you need to release in order to get to the next level. Amen. For some of you in the room, the connections that you have are demonic. And so you're not going to be able to get to where God wants you to be or even where you want to be until you let those connections. And so God said, because you're not smart enough to break the ties with the program, I'm going to have to do it for you. Because you really do love me with your whole heart and with your whole mind and with your whole soul, but you kind of love them with your whole heart, with your whole mind, with your whole soul. And you have to choose ye this day whom you going to serve. What I love about God is he ain't even tripping on a relationship that didn't work out that you still in mentally and emotionally. You still have ties with that thing and you're not able to grow because you still have ties. So it doesn't matter how much you study. It doesn't matter how many certificates you get. It doesn't matter how many degrees. You cannot go forward until you cut the ties of the past, and you're not able to cut the ties of the past. So God's not able to give you the promises of your future. And so God is so good that he's saying, you ain't even got to cut them. You didn't even got to cut them. Just tell me you want them cuts. Oh, I'm talking to somebody. God says, Eric, I know your heart. You don't even want to cut ties. You don't even want to. I got you. Just reach out. Just cry out. Just tell me that you just want me and you don't want nothing else, and I will cut the ties for you. Oh, I'm talking to somebody. You can't let that man go out your spirit. You can't let him go. You can't get him out your spirit. Just cry out and tell God. God, it's been 5 years. I still can't get him out. God, it's been 10 years. I still can't get him out. Let God get him out for you. God said, I'm sorry. I'm a jealous God. I can't have you attached to him and attached to me. I can't do it. I'm jealous. I can't do it. You can't. He said, you can't serve two masters. I don't got nobody. I love Oakwood to life. I love Advent to life. I had somebody tell me the other day, it's like, what are you still? I was talking to me young. It was like, are you still? I said, yeah, I am, but I'm Green Beret. You wouldn't even understand this. This Navy SEAL, you wouldn't even understand what we're doing. We're doing something different. We ain't came out of. We have not left. We actually are going deeper into the trenches. We actually going deeper into the hole. I ain't lost my commitment, but that, God said you got to cut that. Because what I'm trying to get you to do, you can't do that and do this. You know how hard it is when I get a call, E, can you come and preach? I'm like, not the way you asking me to do it, I can't. If you're talking about 11 o'clock in the day with the suit, I can't do that. If you're talking to people that already know more than I know about the word, I can't do that. If you're talking about people who know there is a God and kind of want a relationship with God, but something is interfering with that relationship and they ain't even really praying like that and they ain't really in their word like that and they got a problem with God kind of. If you're talking about that work, then that's the work God called me to do. But God told me to tell you, this don't got nothing to do with my word today. God told me to tell you that you have something that you're still attached to. And for some of you, be careful because now you have mental issues because you haven't been let it. You're starting to have mental issues now. You're starting to need to see a therapist when you really don't need to see a therapist. I'm not suggesting that you don't need to sit there, but not for that. That she can't therapy you out of cutting the ties. I'm ready to be a winner. Look, if that's you, I got news for you. Like, I'm about to blow your mind. The first principle I'm going to give you to transition, like you are tired, culturally tired, generationally tired. You in a losing culture. You've been in a generation after generation after generation of losing. You like, E, I'm tired. Like, yo, E, it ain't for me no more, E. Like, E, I don't want to do it no more. Look, first principle, you gonna love it. You ain't gotta write no check. First principle, listen to me. You ain't gotta give a whole lot of effort. The first principle, we going mental toughness. The first principle, I need you to do me a favor. I just need you to expect to win. Yep. Yeah. You like, come on, E, that's simple. Look, number one, I need you to expect to win. When you wake up in the morning, I expect to win. I expect it to be a great day. Listen to me very closely. I do not get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to lose. I used to be a loser, high school dropout. I used to be a loser, homeless. I used to be a loser, eating out of trash cans. Listen to me. This ain't no feel good stuff. I used to be a loser. Now, listen to me. All I do is win. And the first thing I did, I said, look, it's unacceptable. I will not be a loser. All I did was say to myself, I expect to win. Listen to me. When I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I expect it to be a great day. When I grind, I expect to win. When I wake up, I expect a miracle. I expect that phone call. I expected to have marital bliss. I had kids. I expected to have a great relationship with my kids. When I went to school to get my PhD, I expected to pass. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I wake up every day and I expect it. All I need you to do, don't practice to fail. Are you practicing to fail? Are you going to class on time, doing all your homework to fail? So number one, mental toughness. Everything you put your hands forth to do, expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. When you set out for a goal, expect that it's going to happen. That's all I need you to do. Number one, expect it to happen. What if I told you that you never ever have to come up short again? So this is all I need you to do for me today. Listen to me. This is all I need you to do for me today is to declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to lose. Like yesterday was the last day you expected, listen to me, to come up short. Like all I need you to do is declare for me like losing is over. All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. All right. So I'm going to ask you to do something this year that I have never asked you to do before. We're going to do some affirmations. So I need you to repeat after me. I am ready to be a winner. I deserve to be a winner. I am destined. I am destined to be a winner. From this day forth, all I know is winning. Listen to me. From this day forward, all I know is winning. Listen to me. The way I went from losing to winning, guys, is I said this every day, 3-4 times a day. Say it with me and say it like you mean it. Like, say it like a winner. Don't say it like a loser. I am ready. I am ready to win. I deserve to win. Come on. Come on. Say it like you mean it. I deserve to win. I am determined, come hell or high water. I am determined, come hell or high water, to win. From this day forth, all I do is win. From this day forth, all I do is win. It's your boy E.T. saying, expect it. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can wake up acting like a winner, listen to me. If you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you can make the rest of your life the best of your life. And I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I know from personal experience that you can transition from a loser to a winner and make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Oftentimes in our lives when we're going through life and things will be going real well, we'll get hit in the face. Life will knock you right between the eyes. It'll come out of nowhere. It'll be stuff you can't anticipate.
You'll find yourself feeling stressed out. You'll find yourself feeling like everything is falling apart around you and within you. And you'll feel like you're being buried alive, buried in pain and tears and the uncertainty of your future. That experience will break so many people. Most people who go through that experience will back away from their dreams and goals. They stop trying, they stop stretching, and they start shrinking into living a life below what was given to them by the universe. But there's a small number of people who know in their heart of hearts that no matter how much fire I have to endure, no matter how much heat I have to put myself through, no matter the number of beatings I have to take, it will all be worth it.
Because I know for a fact that if I can endure this process, if I can claw my way through this, if I can keep pushing onward and upward through all this, I will be left standing at the top of that fucking mountain of success as a warrior, stronger than ever before because of that battle.
Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down, because it's not in falling that makes us failures. It's in not getting up that makes us failures. And you get to decide if you get up or you don't get up. Every horrible situation can either be the greatest moment for change or the worst moment that ruins everything. And the question is, will you let this failure make you or break you? You get to decide. Your hardship doesn't.
And you got to decide that you're going to be so relentless that you'll constantly look for ways to get through it. You'll constantly keep moving. You'll constantly keep getting better so that you are never stuck in one place for the rest of your life. You're going to find a way or make a way, and you'll stop at nothing to get it.
You've got to declare war against that trial, against that tribulation. And you got to say, no matter how many no's I have to face, no matter how much pain I got to put myself through, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I will not quit. I will turn every single tragedy in my life into a victory. People won't even recognize me from all the improvements I'm about to make to myself and my mentality because of these hard times. I'm going to come out of this whole thing as a diamond because of all the pressure I fought my way through.
The moments that take your breath away are the ones that count. You need the downs to create the ups. You need the ups to create the downs. You need to feel the opposites to truly understand the full reality of the life you are living. I don't care if you've been beaten to the floor, if your legs are too tired to lift that weight. Break through that barrier and create new ones for you. Get back up and live life, because every second spent not doing so is time wasted, time that you will never get back.
You got to talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potentials. When you feel that inner negative conversation saying you can't do it, when life keeps hitting you down to the ground and you got tears in your eyes, all I want you to do every day is just say to yourself, it is possible. If other people have done it, then I can do it too. This pain won't control me. I'm going to harness it and turn it into something better.
And when it feels like that thing is telling you to quit, you look at it directly and say, I'm not going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me.
You've been through so much hell. Why would you even consider quitting now? You cannot quit now. You cannot quit now. You're so close to victory. You just got to hold out a little longer. Go a little further. Try a little bit more.
And when you're talking about success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it is about stamina. It's about you declaring to yourself and the world, I will not be broken. You cannot take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. It's too late for giving up now. You should have broke me a long time ago, because I am unbreakable now.
What is it that will make it worth it for you? To face the rejections, to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this. What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I've got some more stuff in me? What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it for you when you want to give up and things are working against you? What is it that will help you get back up again?
Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream. You can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it. But if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm going to change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're going to keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought?
Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1 yard line. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. I'm in control here. You've got to have an uplifted expression. Watch your body posture. All of these things affect you psychically. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
I don't want to be that person that's great when everything is going all good, but when something goes wrong, they flee and they want nothing to do with it. I want to be that person that's going to show up rain, sleet, or snow, and they're going to give you everything they got. You got to take my life before you take my drive. I'm talking concrete commitment. I'm talking a commitment that says I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because character is not something we inherit. Character is something we got to wake up every single day. We got to fight and we got to build it. In the midst of adversity, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of failures, we got to get up every single day. We got to fight for peace. We got to fight for happiness. We got to fight for joy.
Focus on how your life will be better and what your life will look like when you get what you want. You do this and your brain will think that by helping you get what you want, you're moving away from pain and towards pleasure. Greatness isn't achieved by that one massive thing you do. It's those tiny little consistent baby steps we take every single day that add up to achieving that goal. Amazing things happen when you believe you have something. Your brain actively goes out to make it happen. Believe that you can do it and work hard to get it, and it's yours.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm going to walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you.
Sometimes you're barely making any progress. Sometimes you're barely making any progress at all. And that tough situation is making you want to stop. And what you eventually learn is you can't stop. When you're going through tough situations, you got to take that next step. You got to keep moving forward. And I know we're going through a pretty tough situation right now in a lot of different ways. Take that next step. Keep moving forward.
The only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking. Every day, get up, take that step, and start walking. Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light. You, your will, your determination, no matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Because the darkness only wins if you let it. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on. To fight against the darkness is to win. So fight on.
Life is full of pain. It's everywhere. The pain of defeat, the pain of being disappointed, the pain of losing, the pain of failure, the pain of being criticized, the pain of not being liked, the pain. That's called life. But guess what? There's no gain without pain.
There's going to be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
You are closer than what you think. You close, and the devil done told you, just get a divorce. You close, hold on. You close. You about to drop out. You gone too far now. You ain't got but 2 credits. Hold on. You 3 kids in. You can't quit now. Hold on. But this is my 6th time taking it. You gonna pass on the 7th. Hold on. But you better get something from all that hell you've been through. I'm talking to somebody. You ought to get excited. You are 100 yards away. You are 100 yards away. You can see it in the distance. You can see it in the distance. You close, boo. Don't give up now. You close, my brother. Hold on. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going.
Don't allow that inner doubt in you to tell you why you're not good enough. You ignore that inner voice and all of the external voices. Don't judge the possibilities for what you can do based upon the circumstances, because the circumstances won't determine who you are. Doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. Doesn't matter how much money you've lost. In fact, I see it only as an investment of what you learn from life.
You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. This is where you start separating the successful from the unsuccessful. Just because it says trial on the package, or tribulation on the package, or pain on the package, it don't mean it ain't a blessing inside. And most of you turn around when you see pain. But those of us who had a right perspective, we approach it when it say pain. When we see trial, tribulation, we don't give up or give in. We know the blessing is on the inside. We don't give up. We don't surrender. We don't quit. We see differently. Our perspective is different. And because our perspective is different, our outcomes are different. Our rewards are different.
There are going to be times that try your heart so severely that everything in you wants to quit. Everything in you wants to collapse. Everything in you wants to go down. Everything in you wants to go crazy. You're in the midst of a storm, and it is what you do when you are alone in that dark place that determines how much you really learn from life.
The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where they stand in times of challenge and controversy, when all hell is breaking loose. That's where we find out what you are really made of.
When life throws its punches, when you're on the ground, gasping for air, I need you to remember that it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
You're not a victim. Stop acting like one. You're a warrior. You shape your own destiny.
In the furnace of your struggles, in the heat of your pain, you are being forged into a beast. You become unstoppable by being broken over and over and over by life. You get to the point where you've been hurt so much that you know what the worst pain is like, and you can handle it every single time.
Don't see your pain as a barrier. See it as a building block. Every moment of suffering, every time you break down, it is adding to your strength, adding to your resilience. The more you go through, the more you grow through. It is preparing you for greater battles, which lead to greater victories.
An oak tree becomes strong under pressure, under the forces of nature, and you become stronger under the pressures of life. The things that break you are the very things that make you unbreakable. They are the fire that tempers your spirit, the hammer that shapes your resolve.
In this process of being broken and rebuilt, you'll find a version of yourself that you never knew existed. A version of you that is not just surviving, but that's thriving. A version of you that doesn't run from challenges like most people do, but instead steps toward them and says, bring it on. That version of you knows that every setback is a setup for a comeback.
We all feel broken inside at times. That's a part of being a human being. But the difference is, do you give up or do you get up? Do you give in to the pain and the hardship or do you decide, I will not allow that? You need to decide right now that I am bigger than this. I can get through this. I'm coming back from this and I will be better because of it.
When you feel broken inside, when the pain seems too much to bear, you got to remind yourself that this might be a page in your life. This might be a chapter in your life, but it is not the whole book. This is not your whole story. Every battle, every scar is preparing you for something bigger, something greater.
You're not defined by what breaks you. You're defined by how you rebuild yourself. So stand tall, even if you're standing on broken pieces, and tell yourself that no matter how hard things are or how hard things get, I will never give up. I'm not done yet. I'll come back stronger. Whatever you do, don't lose your head. Pull your feelings out of it. Pull your insecurities out of it, your vulnerabilities, and stand on what you know. Yes, the road's been bumpy. Yes, the road's been tough. Yes, the road's been difficult. Yes, you've shed some tears. And yes, you've endured some pain. But it is the bumpy road to better.
You can't get to better without bumpy. You can't get to better without pain. You can't get to better without tears. There is no pill you can take. There is no simple solution. It is the bumpiness of the road that leads you to better.
Whatever you're going through right now, it's happening on purpose. It is happening in order to forge you into the person that you were created to be. But if you quit, if you let the darkness, you let the pain, you let the agony win, you will never get to be that person.
The people who make it through the hardest times in life and come out better because of it are the people who are willing to look at the problems and issues in front of them, assess the situation, take responsibility for fixing it, and come up with solutions to solve them.
Your pain is not the end. It's the beginning of a new you. A you that's tougher, wiser, and unstoppable. So when you're broken, remember, it's just a universe thing. It's time to build the best version of you. Embrace it, fight through it, and emerge victorious. Because what doesn't kill you truly does make you stronger.
It doesn't mean that you'll always get it right. You'll fail over and over and over again. More times than you can count. What it does mean, though, is that when things don't work out, when you fall flat on your face and you're embarrassed and you feel like breaking down crying and everything goes wrong, you pick yourself up, you get yourself back on track, you wipe away your tears and forget about all the mistakes you've made, and you find a way to move forward. Is it easy? Absolutely not. It takes everything in you to do this. Your internal voice will be telling you to stop, to give up. So you got to force your mind and your feelings to cooperate with the goals you've set in motion. Staying focused on making a way for this thing to work, come hell or high water.
If you keep that mindset locked in your brain and don't allow outside forces to mess with you and your goals, you will find a way to win.
We all think about quitting when it's hard. It's hard to process information during pain because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. When you quit, your mind says we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts, where you can't swim and you're drowning. You're drowning in life. You're now in like, I gotta get out of here. You're in fight or flight. It's cold. I can't be cold this long. And then this is where that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to be there. All you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. What you have to do in that 1 second is say, you know what, man? Dad, I'm going to figure out how to fucking backstroke or something. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here. And I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds, and I have to learn to control these. Because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. When you say, fuck you, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind, it says, fuck, he's not leaving. So we got to expand. We got to grow. We got to figure this fucking thing out. These compartments in your brain, they have to work. And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. When you're in suffer mode and you say, I'm not going to quit, you're forcing your brain now to operate on a level it's not used to. But then it becomes used to it.
If you want to take the fucking island, burn the fucking boats. When you burn the boats, you tap into a level of drive, determination, and courage that you may have never experienced before. You become unfucking stoppable.
If you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. If your life at times feels like, looks like labor, you are doing it right. Keep on pushing. I'm telling you what, there is breakthrough coming, and when you're holding your prize, the pain and the suffering will pale in comparison. Don't give up. It will be worth it. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react.
And I'm telling you, the way to ignite the dream is you gotta shut out every single thing, and you gotta believe I am the greatest.
If you're willing to fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through that divorce, fight your way through whatever comes up against you, on the other side is a better life. Don't let this negative world get you. Don't let it win.
You gotta have your back against the wall and give yourself no way out.
Because when it's do or die, you'll find a way to do it.
And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
See, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's just something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
Work on you for you. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Don't look back. You are not going that way. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. Work at your job and make a living. Work on yourself and make a fortune. At your lowest, you realize a lot. Remember, some of the best times of your life haven't even happened yet. This is your world. Shape it, or someone else will. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. No one is too busy. It's only a matter of priorities. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. The best thing I ever did was stop telling people what's going on in my life. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. Never force, don't beg, and don't chase. Someday, when things are okay, you'll look back and feel proud that you didn't give up. Forgive your old self. You've changed. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people. God knows when to send you exactly what you need. No regrets. Just do better next time. There will always be someone who doesn't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Seek respect, not attention. It lasts longer. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Remember, some things have to end for better things to begin. Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Life will separate you from your friends, so appreciate each moment you have together. Being private, staying low-key, and not telling everyone everything is self-care. Money is a tool, not the goal. Freedom is the goal. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Stay calm. You've been through this before. You'll get through it again. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. If people treat you like an option, leave them like a choice. Value experience over possessions because memories are the real treasures of life. Accept what is. Let go of what was. Have faith in what will be. So many people love you. Don't focus on the people who don't. You deserve it. The career, the love, the family, the peace, the life. Your vision will be blurry, but it will grow clear with time. Patience is your ally. Never forget who helped you in a difficult time. You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone. No matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get the best. Be alone until you're valued. Take care of your body. Remember, Health is another form of wealth. If you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. Hard times will always reveal true friends. Better days are coming. You won't always wake up in the morning with a heavy heart. Your strongest muscle and worst enemy is your mind. Train it well. Don't react. Cut them off silently. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less. Don't ever let the same people disappoint you twice. Small circle, private life, and peaceful mind. Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectation. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes mean you're trying. Use things, not people. Love people, not things. Even the smallest lie can break the biggest trust. Be kind and generous without expecting anything in return. Embrace solitude as a time for reflection and self-discovery. Not everyone you trust will be trustworthy. Don't be afraid to express vulnerability. It shows strength. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. It's a part of life. Breathe. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Things will get better. Just wait. We have 4 problems: overthink, overtrust, overshare, overlove. You will be disappointed and heartbroken multiple times, but it's how you respond that matters. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. The days that break you are the days that make you. Make more moves and less announcements. Time never waits. It only urges you to catch up or get left behind. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health. Depend on yourself, never on others. Being too nice breaks you. Trust yourself. You've survived a lot, and you'll survive whatever is coming. You grow mentally weak when your life is too comfortable. Sometimes loneliness is the price you pay for growth. You are who you are. Nobody's approval is needed. Learn from what people do, not from what they tell you. Expect nothing, and you will never get disappointed. Embrace every opportunity, for regrets come from the chances we didn't take. If you can dream it, you can do it. Stop telling people more than they need to know. You meet every single person for a reason. Just let it be. If it's meant to be, it will happen. Your past was never a mistake if you learned from it. Once you feel free, someone avoids you. Never disturb them again. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Some things are meant to cross your way, but are not meant to stay. Your direction is more important than your speed. Never fall in love with the same person twice, because the second time you fall in love with the memories, not the person. Perceive failure as a vulnerable teacher and a stepping stone to success. Celebrate small victories and milestones because they pave the way for bigger achievements. Whoever brings you the most peace should get the most time. Never be afraid to treat people the way they treat you. Just be real. It saves everyone's time. Never think twice about investments in yourself. They pay dividends for a long time. You need to stop the habit of doubting yourself. You can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. Don't share your personal life with anyone. Do not let anyone have anything that could harm you. Your heart will tell you where to go. Your head will guide you there safely. Use one without the other, and you'll get lost. Hard work doesn't always pay off. Learn to stop in time and understand whether you have turned into a slave. Life will only come around once, so do whatever makes you happy. You can't do big things if you are distracted by small things. Remember, 5 years ago, you dreamed about being where you are now. Think about it.
Here, and I have a purpose. There is no value in having wisdom, knowledge, insight, spirituality, love. Every day, I am a work in progress.
A person who can forgive nothing is a person who's totally destroyed psychologically and emotionally. Forgive your parents. Forgive any relationship that you ever had that didn't work out. Forgive everyone else in your life that has ever hurt you in any way. Forgive yourself.
Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. I think for myself, and I know many of you, you think forgiving means accepting what has happened to you. Well, it is accepting that it has happened to you. Not accepting that it was okay for it to happen. It is accepting that it has happened, and now what do I do about it? Forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on, hoping, wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. Giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when I got that, I think it took me to the next level of being a better person, because I don't hold grudges for anything or any situation, and neither should you. It's letting go so that the past does not hold you prisoner, does not hold you hostage.
See, life is cyclic. You're not, whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Not to stay, just to pass. It's just going through. The biggest challenge is to know what's happening. This is a part of this thing we call life. This too shall pass. And maintaining perspective, putting it in perspective.
You have to be willing to break from the past to have the future you so desperately desire. You have to have the courage to allow yourself to honor the past as it was, to forgive those who need to be forgiven, to forgive yourself, and to acknowledge that everything led you to this point now. Everything.
Let it go and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do now, Les? But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will. So as you're in the process of reinventing your life, write a description of the kind of person that you want to be. What are the things that you must overcome? What qualities about your personality you know that you're going to have to change, because those particular characteristics are liabilities to you? What are your assets? What are your strong points? Look at and evaluating yourself to make that determination. Other thing is that in order to get out of a rut, we need some coaching. Find some trusted critics. People that you know care about you and love you. So there's some things that keeps us from growing and getting out of ruts. Number one, we identify with feedback. We take it personal when someone wants to give us some feedback on where we are falling short and tell us about our blind spots. We want to have everything being positive about us. We're not perfect. It hurts. I have a friend who's a trusted critic. I don't like him, but I love him. He doesn't tell me the things I want to hear. He tells me what I need to hear so I can grow. It hurts. It hurts when he put me on the hot seat. I can't stand it. But that's the only way that I can grow. And I'm glad that he loves me enough to risk our friendship to tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear.
High performers are not dissatisfied strivers. They're not. They're happy. High performers are happier than their peers. We all believe that to get the top, it's going to be lonely at the top, and we all believe you have to grind and kill yourself to get there. Yeah. And that's completely wrong, and the data proves it worldwide, which is, I think, just overcoming a lot of people's biases about how we work today, because right now, especially today, like, you know, grind on social media is so popular.
Or hustle.
Or hustle. And by the way, none of the top 15% of high performers worldwide identify with those words. They literally don't. We asked them, we did a whole keyword analysis. Yep. This was actually pretty cool. And high performers explicitly say, these are the three driving feelings. If we said there was a high performance state, it's driven from these three things. Number one, full engagement. Yes. Number two, joy.
Yes.
And number three, confidence.
Yes.
That's what they relate with, okay? That's where it's coming from. It's a joyous journey, not a dissatisfied one. And I had this conversation in the book because I kind of maybe frame it this way. Each of these chapters opens with a vignette of somebody I worked with or a situation that I was in that demonstrated high performance. In this particular situation, I'm walking on a stage, thousands of people, after a very famous musician was out there and was telling the audience that person's secret to success, remember, thousands of people,
yes.
Their secret to that person, their whole speech, their secret to success was never settle. Never settle. Nothing is enough. Never settle. And never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. Always demand more. And I'm like, oh, my second slide, which was gonna be on Jumbotrons in like 80-point text, was strive satisfied. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to dispel this for all these thousands of people. I was totally freaked out.
Yeah.
But what I had to explain to people was not only the data, but it's this. If you're never satisfied, I mean, is it true that life is precious? If it's true that life is precious, and you could be gone tomorrow, do you really want to think, you know what, I just never felt fulfilled? I never allowed myself to have a moment of credit. I never allowed myself to have a moment of peace. I never allowed myself to look at that and say, good job. That's not the way to live life.
Right.
I think just at a spiritual level, it's a bad move. And this book doesn't really go into a lot of that. It's more about the science and the heart stuff. But I think it's really important that people realize your job is to strive satisfied. And if you strive satisfied more often, you will be more of a high performer. And if you never give yourself credit, you're always beating up on yourself, you're always thinking that's not perfect enough, then what's gonna happen? Dissatisfied people burn out and they quit more often than satisfied strivers. So take joy in the moment, engage with what you're doing, allow credit and satisfaction and joy to come in. You can always be improving.
Of course.
But be improving joyfully.
Yes.
And if you're improving joyfully, then you're learning, you feel curious, you feel engaged, the joy is there, you'll get more confident because you're like, I'm gonna learn through this anyway, this is gonna be great. Because you know this thing is all over social media right now, like, grind, work, whatever. And I'm like, it's popular and I see why that happens and I see why it's catchy. It's just not scientifically valid.
Stop scaring yourself. How often do you terrorize yourself with your own thoughts? You get into absolute terror, and it's only coming from your thoughts. Nobody out there is doing a thing. Sometimes it's an old family pattern, sometimes we get new things. I would like people, when you have time, to make a list of your fears. Make a list of your fears. And then give yourself the opportunity to turn each fear into a positive affirmation. Turn each one into something positive. And remember, always you are in charge. You are always in charge. See, one idle thought doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Thoughts are like drops of water. You drop a drop of water and it doesn't mean much. But if you keep dropping and keep dropping, you get a puddle on the floor, and then you can get a little pond and a lake, and finally you can create an ocean. And with our own thoughts, we can drown in a sea of negativity, or we can float on the ocean of life. And it's up to us. The thoughts we think accumulate. And what sort of puddles are you standing in? Or are you up to here? Or are you up to here and trying to paddle? What are you doing to yourself? When we're willing to change our thinking, we can change our experiences. And it doesn't matter if you've got a big puddle of negative thoughts. You can move over here and create a puddle of mindfulness, positive thoughts. You can make changes, always. So you want to turn those fear thoughts into positive affirmations. Let them work for you.
When we think we are unworthy, it means that for some reason we believe that we have to prove we have a right to our space on the planet, in life, as we are, being who we are. And that means that we will do all manner of wonderfulness to prove we deserve to be here. And usually, some of the common things are we overcommit, overgive, we overdo, we over excuse, we overcompensate, and we stay in difficult, desperate, hurtful, harmful situations much longer than it is wise or productive to do so. Worth, what it is that you expect from the world in response to who you are, is very different from value. Self-value means how you hold yourself within yourself and what you expect as a result. Now, in order to get to the worth, if you're not holding yourself within yourself as worthy, then what you expect from the world is surely gonna hurt you.
This is what you're going to do. You are literally going to dump out everything that's in your head onto this piece of paper. Every concern, every worry, every to-do, everything that's bothering you that you're thinking about.
For some people especially, they're just experiencing way too much pressure. And that pressure, a lot of times, it's just an imbalance in perspective.
And discipline is a matter of the imposition of order, and the order is necessary, especially for people who are hopeless and nihilistic.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work.
Most people do it for survival. Kicha, we need to feed our families, we need to survive, it's our career, okay, we have to do it. But to wake up with, my feet and my fingers tingling and say, wow, I have this to do, I have that to do today. And it's an amazing feeling and I don't take it for granted.
You're going to have a hard time thinking about all the options and you're going to be really attached emotionally.
So a lot of us know that. I can get over here, but over here, man, this is much better because I gotta go through this journey that is not fun. This from 20 to 100%, this shit in between is not fun.
Discomfort is your friend. It really is. Like discomfort and not being happy and content with certain situations in life or certain feelings in life, they're massive motivators, and they're amazing at facilitating change.
Everything else is secondary. Were the words, stay hungry, stay foolish. It was their farewell message as they signed off. Stay hungry, stay foolish. And I have always wished that for myself.
Well, it is scary. I will always say that, especially business, because it's a very scary place to be in. It changes, it goes ups and downs, it has so many ups and downs. To be successful, you have to be able to walk away from a deal. You have to. If you want it bad enough, then people are going to give it to you at patterns,
If you think it sucks when it's bad, you have losing pessimistic DNA. And if you think it's awesome and phenomenal, you have optimistic winning DNA. And I believe that to be true. And so that's where we're at.
That's why people gotta understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard.
Is it as enjoyable as it can be? And we all know that there's a spectrum for that enjoyability. Like we've all had times in our life where it's not been so great. And then times in our life where everything came together and like, what a fucking great day. Woo! Like, make more of those.
And the discipline part, you don't hear a lot about. That's the things people do when nobody else sees. That's when you win.
I think it really starts with realizing that you don't love yourself, that most people don't. Most people feel they're not good enough, that they haven't done it right, they won't do it right, they'll never be enough, and they're definitely not lovable. And when we come from that space, it's very hard to create things for ourselves that are really good. So in the early days when I worked with people, I used to fix this problem and fix that problem, and you'd have this, a health thing, and we'd work on that and we'd work on this. And one day I discovered, much to my amazement, that if I would help people learn to love themselves, to really accept themselves as they are, we didn't have to work around problems.
because it was almost like a miracle. Everything seemed to fall away. It's a hard one for people because we grow up believing that we're not good enough and nothing is right. I remember lots of times I would ask people, well, what is really wrong with you? What have you done that is so terrible that you're not acceptable to yourself? And I never, ever got an answer that made any sense. You know, they might say something like, well, I'm too fat. Well, so, you know, but when you talk about loving yourself, a lot of people think that that's vanity. But it isn't really. It has nothing to do with that. That is narcissistic. But to really care for you and to acknowledge that you are an important being. It's almost like in the Bible they would say, you recognize that you are a child of God, that therefore you are perfect. But even if you're not a biblical person, if you can recognize that you are a being that has self-worth, if you can really recognize your own worth, then you start to treat yourself differently. And I think that's what's so very important about loving yourself, is you stop beating yourself up, you stop making yourself wrong, you stop talking about how awful you are, and you stop saying things like, I'm really stupid and stuff, and you start to treat yourself with a certain amount of respect. And this makes an enormous difference, because what you give out in life is what comes back to you. So if you're giving out a feeling of, I'm okay, I'm good enough as I am, and I am acceptable, and I love life, and I love me, and you start having gratitude for yourself and for life, then life treats you differently, because you are having a different vibration that you're giving out and getting back. And that's when things really start to flow. Now, a lot of people don't realize it, but you have to practice. You just have to start it. And that's why I try to get people to do a lot of mirror work. If you look in the mirror, just simple things like looking in the mirror in your own eyes and say, I love you. I really, really love you. And it helps if you use your name, Louise, I love you. I really love you. It gets to that little child inside that has been rejected for so long. And it breaks open sort of a dam or a door or whatever you want to call it. And it's like little miracles start to happen. Lots of little good things happen. And the universe loves grateful people. The more grateful you are, the more you get to be grateful about.
Now that we understand a little bit more about how powerful our thoughts and words are, we can choose to retrain our thinking and speaking into positive patterns if we're going to get beneficial results. Are you willing to change your self-talk into positive affirmations? Remember, every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, you are saying an affirmation. An affirmation is a beginning point. It opens the way to change. In essence, you are saying to your subconscious mind, I am taking responsibility. I am aware that there is something I can do to change. When I talk about doing affirmations, I mean to consciously choose sentences or words that will either help to eliminate something from your life or help to create something new in your life. And you do this in a positive way. If you say, I don't want to be sick anymore, the subconscious mind hears sick more. Now you want to tell it clearly what you do want. That is, say, I am a healthy person. I radiate good health. The subconscious mind is very straightforward. It has no strategy or designs. What it hears is what it does. If you say, I hate this car, it doesn't give you a wonderful new car because it doesn't know what you want. Even if you get a new car, you will probably hate it soon, because that is what you've been saying about it. The subconscious only hears, hate this car. You need to clearly declare your desires in a positive way, as in, I have a beautiful new car that suits all my needs. Or, I always have a car that I love. If there is something in your life that you really dislike, I have found one of the quickest ways to release it is to bless it with love. I bless you with love, and I release you and let you go. This works for people, situations,
objects, and living quarters. You could even try it on a habit you would like to be free of and see what happens. I knew one man who said, "I bless you with love and release you from my life," to every cigarette he smoked. After a few days, his desire for smoking was considerably less, and in a few weeks, the habit was gone. You deserve good. Think for a moment. What is it you really want right now? What is it you want today in your life? Think about it and then say, "I accept for myself whatever it is that you want." This is where I find that most of us get stuck. The bottom line is the belief that we don't deserve to have what we want. Our personal power lies in the way we perceive our deservability. Our not deserving comes from childhood messages. Again, we don't have to feel that we cannot change because of these messages. Often people will come to me and say, "Louise, affirmations don't work." It really has nothing to do with affirmations. It is the fact that we don't believe we deserve the good. The way to find out if you believe that you deserve something is to say an affirmation and notice the thoughts that come up as you say it. Then write them down, because when you see these thoughts on paper, they will be very clear to you. The only thing that keeps you from deserving or loving yourself or whatever is someone else's belief or opinion that you have accepted as truth. When we don't believe that we deserve good, we will knock the pinnings out from under ourselves, which we can do in a variety of ways. We can create chaos, we can lose things, we can hurt ourselves, or have physical problems like falling, or have accidents. We want to start believing that we deserve all the good that life has to offer. In order to reprogram the false or negative belief, what would be the first thought that you would need to begin to create this new whatever in your life? What would be the building block or the foundation that you would need to stand on? What would be the sort of thing that you would need to know for yourself to believe, to accept? Some good thoughts to start with could be, "I am worthwhile. I am deserving. I love myself. I allow myself to be fulfilled," etc. These concepts form the very basis of beliefs on which you can build. Do your affirmations on top of these building blocks to create what you want.
To begin with, you start by doing what we call doing affirmations, and that is making positive statements about your life that are positive, and you do them deliberately. You might do them in the morning, you might do them at noon, you might do them at night, you might do them, twice a day or whatever. But you do this and you let this become a habit. And as you start to do them, things will begin to change, maybe on a very small level. I call it getting the green lights in the parking places. I mean, they're not huge things in your life, but it can be very nice when you get 3 green lights in a row and you're in a hurry. Doing an affirmation is either writing it down, writing it on the wall or the mirror, or using just saying it. What I like people to do is to stand in front of a mirror and do their affirmations. Because there's something very powerful about looking in your own eyes and accepting yourself, or noticing that you reject yourself when you're saying something positive about yourself. So that would be a very beginning way to start. Say in the morning, you get up in the morning, you go to the mirror, and this is a big one, and it's hard for lots of people. But you look in the mirror and say, "I love you. I really, really love you." And to begin with, that can be so hard for people because they think of all the things that they think are wrong with them. But if you can start your day saying that, it's very powerful. Remember, I'd like to think the universe is listening to everything you say and everything you think and saying, "Okay, you can get that." So then it starts to bring you in and bring things into you. And I know this sounds far-fetched, but it's amazing how it works. If you do a good general positive statement for yourself, the universe will figure out how to manifest that, how to bring that about in your life. So things could happen that you wouldn't expect at all, but they will happen. If you think of doing your positive affirmations is like planting a seed in the ground. It's not necessarily true at the moment, but it is something you want to have be true. So you put the seed in, and you plant a seed and you expect it to grow. Or you maybe plant 3 seeds just in case. You expect them to grow. And you don't wait 2 days and then dig in the earth and say, what's happening, what's happening? You expect that thing to grow because you know there's a law and a process. And the seed will grow if it is in the right soil and it has the right amount of moisture. Making it really a habit and doing it every day. Doing something every morning when you wake up, that's a really good time. And another good time is when you go to sleep at night.
If you still have a habit that you haven't released, ask yourself how it serves you. What do you get out of it? If you can't get an answer, ask in a different way. If I no longer had this habit, what would happen? Very often the answer is, my life would be better. So it comes back to the fact that we believe we don't deserve a better life in some way. Ordering from the cosmic kitchen. When you first say an affirmation, it may not seem true. But remember, affirmations are like planting seeds in the ground. When you put a seed in the ground, you don't get a full-grown plant the next day. We need to be patient during the growing season. As you continue to say the affirmation, either you will be ready to release whatever you don't want, and the affirmation will become true, or it will open a new avenue to you, or you may get a brilliant brainstorm. Or a friend may call you and say, have you tried this? You will be led to the next step that will help you. Keep your affirmations in the present tense. You can sing them and make a jingle out of them so that they repeat over and over in your head. Remember that you cannot affect a specific person's actions with your affirmations. To affirm that John is now in love with me is a form of manipulation, and it is trying to have control over another person's life. It will usually have a boomerang effect on you. You will become very unhappy when you don't get what you want. You can say, I am now loved by a wonderful man who is, and list the qualities that you want in the relationship. That way you allow the power within you to bring to you the perfect person to fill that bill, who may possibly be John. You don't know what another person's spiritual lesson is, and you don't have a right to interfere in their life process. You certainly wouldn't want someone else doing it to you. If someone is ill, bless them and send them love and peace, but don't demand that they get well. I like to think of doing affirmations as placing our order in the cosmic kitchen. If you go to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress comes and takes your order, you don't follow them into the kitchen to see if the chef got the order or how he's going to prepare the food. You sit and drink water or coffee or tea, or you talk to your friend and maybe eat your roll. You assume that your food is being prepared and will be out when it's ready. It's the same when we begin to do affirmations. When we put our order into the cosmic kitchen, the great chef, our higher power, is working on it. So you go on with your life and know that it is being taken care of. It's on order. It's happening. Now, if the food comes out and it isn't exactly what you ordered, and if you have self-esteem, you will send it back. If not, you will eat it. You also have a right to do that with the cosmic kitchen. If you don't get exactly what you want, you can say, no, that's not quite it. This is what I want. Perhaps you weren't clear in your ordering. The idea here, too, is to let go. At the end of my treatments and meditations, I use the words, and so it is. It's a way of saying, higher power, it's in your hands now. I release it to you.
We all have 2 voices in our mind. We have that one voice that we love to hear, that tells you to stay in bed, to take it easy, telling you not to push yourself too hard, to take the day off, just chill today. But there's another voice in your head. It's a voice that we all want to run away from. And it's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you become? What could you become if you worked as hard as you could? What could you become if you disciplined your mind? What could you become if you stopped taking the easy path? What could you become if you decided to force yourself to do more than ever before? You must listen to that voice. Listen to those questions it's asking. That voice is the beast inside you, trying to make its way out.
When you want something, don't expect the world to just hand it to you. Life's not gonna give you shit for free. There's no handouts. No one's coming to say, oh, you want this? Great, we want to give this to you. No, life isn't like that. But guess what? That's how most people see success. They think of it as if you just do a few things and you instantly become a winner.
They stick to a diet for 3 days and wonder why they're not a fitness model yet. They do a few tasks they gotta do, have 2 meetings, send 5 emails, call 10 people, then have the audacity to say, why am I not running a $10 million company by now? And it's because they don't get what it really takes. It takes doing the things that most people aren't disciplined enough to do, day after day after day after day, to the best of your ability, doing it better than everybody else. Striving for perfection every single time. It's getting your ass up and working when you don't want to work. It's lifting the weights when all you want to do is lay on the couch. It's focusing on studying when you'd rather be out partying with your friends. And you might hate doing it. It might be the last thing in the world you want to be doing right now. But you've got to do it like you love it. Because that is what discipline is. Don't allow your feelings to take control of your life. You're the one in charge.
At some point, you gotta get fucking tired of losing. And you gotta fucking play angry. You gotta get to the point where you can't relate to lazy people. You don't speak the same language. You gotta execute. You gotta get it done. Because the world treats you different when you get it done.
You gotta start commanding your mind to do the things that it's gonna take to win, no matter how it feels.
Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Stop spending time looking for excuses. Look for solutions. That's what winners do. Losers are always looking for the excuse, where the winner looks for the solution. You gotta look yourself in the face and ask yourself, am I working hard enough? Am I studying hard enough? Am I doing all that I can do? Am I giving it my all? Am I burning the midnight oil every night? Am I pushing myself to my limits? And don't lie to yourself. Be honest. And if the answer is no, you've gotta step up your game and condition yourself to do better. Because all of us can go a little harder, work a little longer, try a little more. If we decide to. It's your mind that holds you back. You take control of your mind, you can take control of your world. Stop choosing the easy path, the path of comfort and convenience. All it's gonna lead you to is a life of quality, circumstances, and a lifestyle. Choose the hard path, the path of discipline, the path of hard work, the path of consistency, the path of blood, sweat, and tears, the path of giving the full measure, the path of going the extra mile. That path will lead you to your dreams, to your goals, to everything you've ever wanted, and ultimately to victory.
I'd love to tell you it's going to be easy. That you can just go out into the world, do a few things, make a few moves, then you'll be rich. It doesn't work like that.
If you're gonna make it, you gotta get real doggish. You gotta get real gritty. When you have something in mind that you want, if you're gonna see it become a reality, you gotta get absolutely fucking dedicated to that thing. It's gotta become your new fucking lifestyle.
You gotta commit your very being to that thing. You gotta eat it, you gotta breathe it, you gotta sleep it. You've gotta want that thing so bad that all the people around you think you're insane. You gotta want it more than you want to party. You gotta want it more than you want to rest. You gotta want it more than any of the short-term gratifications that tempt you to take the easy way. There's no easy way for you. There is only the way. And that way is the way of discipline, dedication, and hard work.
If anybody tells you to be more balanced, they don't get it. All the average motherfuckers are afraid of dedicating themselves to something for more than a few fucking days. You gotta allow yourself to be unbalanced for days, months, years, however much time you need in order to build that life, that dream, that thing you want so bad. All the average motherfuckers will wish for it. They'll hope for it. They'll talk about it. But you'll be the one who gets up and works for it. You gotta dedicate every second of your fucking life to that thing you want. You gotta be willing to cut people off that don't support you. You gotta give every single day, every ounce of fucking energy and effort you have in order to pull it off. When you push yourself to that level of obsession and drive when everyone thinks you're insane, you're psycho, you're losing your mind, you're at the exact right level of what it'll take to become the best.
No one great ever made it to the top through being casual. You have to force your body and mind to operate on such a high level that others are scared to reach for.
So you got to make the decision. Are you willing to do the things required to go to that level? Because if you can reach the point where your mindset is, I will do whatever the fuck I have to do to win, you will dominate every single challenge and competitor you face. Dedicate yourself to the activity. Dedicate yourself to 1 month, 6 months, a year, 5 years. I don't know what stage you're at, but you gotta push yourself to go further than you have been. You have more in you. The difference between the average guy and the winner on top is the average guy does what he knows he's supposed to do, what he knows is good for him, but falls off the plan after a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years. The winner, on the other hand, they stick to it relentlessly. They never stop. They do what they know they gotta do and go even further. They break through the mental barriers people make up in their minds. They stick to the task for as long as it fucking takes to get whatever the hell they want. They don't give up what the weather's like, what time it is, what day it is, what's going on in the rest of the world. They focus purely on the task at hand. And they nail it to the very best of their ability every single time, every single day.
If you stay consistent, you can do what many think to be impossible for one person. A person can move mountains given enough time, enough energy, enough persistence, enough discipline, enough consistency. All it takes is you getting up and doing those things you know you got to do without any interruption, without any deviation, without anything getting in the way. You don't leave room for your feelings to get a say in whether you execute or not. No, you do what needs to be done without any internal debates. You keep your focus on that thing you want, and you don't allow anyone or anything to pull you away from it.
The power is in the routine. If you make your daily routine consist of all those things you gotta do, you will 100% get there. It's only a matter of time.
Don't compare yourself with anyone in life. If you do so, you will be the saddest person in the world. There was a story of an unhappy crow that I want to share with you. I hope this story is gonna change your life. So there was a crow. The problem with him was that he was black. He was really sad and unhappy in life because of his color. So he was crying. Suddenly a monk has seen that the crow was crying. So the monk asked the crow, "Why are you crying?" The crow said, "What to do if not cry? Is it really a life that I'm living? Is it really a color, the black? No one likes black. No one likes me. No one likes to have a crow as a pet. Did you see anyone to have a crow as a pet? No one gives me food. I spend most of my time in the garbage. See, the God made me a crow, so I hate my life." The monk said, "What do you want to become if you get another chance? I will make you that thing. I will fulfill your wish." The crow said, "If I get another chance, so I would like to be a swan, a white swan." What a beautiful color, white, the symbol of peace. "Okay, I will make you the swan," the monk said. "But before that, I want you to meet the swan once." So the crow goes and meet the swan and say to the swan, "Wow, brother, what a color the God gave you. You look amazing. You must be happy in life. Look how amazing you are, how happy you are." The swan said, "Who said to you that I am happy?" The crow said, "Are you not?" "Not at all," the swan said. "What's bothering you? Is it really a color, the white? Disgusting. No one likes white. White basically used on the coffin. So you are not happy," the crow said. "Not at all," the swan said. Now 2 of them came back to the monk, and the swan said, "Give me one chance." The monk said, "What do you want to become?" Swan said, "Make me a parrot." What a leaf, what a color combination. Green and red the parrot has. People like to have parrots as a pet. Parrots can also talk, so made me a parrot. The monk said, "I will." But before that, go to the parrot and meet him once. Now the crow and swan went to the jungle and searching for a parrot, but they could not find the parrot. After a lot of searching, they found a parrot and said to the parrot, "Wow, how amazing you are. What a color, what a leaf, just amazing. People pay to you. They give you a name. How happy you are in life. How amazing your life is." Parrot said, "Who said to you that I am happy?" Swan said, "Are you not?" "Not at all," the parrot said. "What bothering you?" "My problem is my color, the green. Is it really a beautiful color?" "It is as same as the jungle, the leaf, the tree. See, you were searching me for a long time, but you could not find me because of my color." So now 3 of them came back to the monk and said, "Dear monk, give me a chance." The monk said, "What do you want to become?" The parrot said, "The peacock. What an amazing bird, what a feather, what a color. When he dances, people take pictures of him." The monk said, "I will make you, all 3 of you. But before that, can you please go to the peacock and meet him once?" Now all of them run and meet the peacock and said, "Wow, peacock, what an amazing life that God gave you. When you open your feathers, people are staring at you. They take pictures of you. People wait for you to open up your feathers because they like you. They want to see you dancing. How happy you are, how amazing your life is." And finally, peacock said, "Who you are? Who told you that I'm happy? Do you have troubles too?" The crow said. Peacock said, "It's a lot of troubles there." "What trouble do you have?" The parrot and crow said. Peacock said, "Listen carefully. There is a sound. Can you hear that?" Parrot said, "Yes." "What's that sound?" "Listen it carefully. Can you hear that?" Yes, I can," the crow and parrot said. "But what's that?" Peacock said, "It's hunter," and killed the peacock. Every feather will be extracted one by one from his body and will be sold to all over the world and to the market. And people will buy it and they will use it to decorate their house. Is it really a life? Why do you want to become peacock? Crow said, "So you are not happy?" Peacock said, "Not at all." The crow said, "Then what would we become according to you? Who is the happiest animal in the world?" The peacock said to the crow, You are the happiest animal in the world." The crow said, "How am I? How can I be happy in the world?" The peacock said to the crow, "Have you heard about the chicken burger?" "Yes," the crow said. "Have you heard about the chicken sandwich?" "Yes," the crow said. "But have you heard about the crow burger or crow sandwich?" "No," the crow said. "Did you see anyone to sell a crow's feather or meat?" "No," the crow said. "Do you have any danger?" "No." "Do anyone hunts you?" "No." "Do you have trouble with anyone?" "No." "Does anyone have trouble with you?" "No." "And who is living a great life, me or you? Who is the happiest bird in the world?" "It's you, brother. It's you." Because we have no idea are we gonna wake up in the next morning or not. So no matter who you are, where you are, how do you look, what you have, you are great. Never ever compare yourself with anyone in life. There is no one better than you. God has not created another person like you. You are unique. Believe it. What you are doing here, you are impacting in this world. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you really think that this story is inspiring you and makes you happy, or then make sure to subscribe this channel and share this video with your family and friends.